It's later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and the iHeartRadio app. Good evening to you. First and foremost, I have to say thank you to Stefan, who helped me get in the building today because my badge wasn't working. I thought for a moment they officially fired me, but not yet.
It wasn't a hint?
Not yet. I got one more day.
You made it in.
I know. And I'm going to tell some of the business behind the scenes. We don't have like conventional phones here anymore. So I couldn't like really call Stefan the normal way as far as the bat phone in the studio. I had to call the hotline. I originally texted you and you probably weren't looking at your phone.
I was.
So I'm just hanging out in the lobby. Employees are coming and leaving, going home for the day. It's like, hey, Mo, what are you doing down here? It's like, well,
have a good day.
Yeah. And producer Michelle hooked me up with a new badge. And then Bellio came downstairs and brought me back up. You know, I appreciate that. So if it's not for you, Stefan, we would not be having this show right now.
True.
Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to get up here and I wouldn't be able to let in Daniel and Carnisha. Whole show would have fallen apart.
The Motown would have been non-existent.
No, it would have been the end of something wonderful. Yeah. But I'm glad to be here. And if this show tonight sounds a little bit like last night, there's a reason. Remember last night we talked about Kroger closing 60 stores, and I told you about my favorite or preferred grocery store? Well, tonight we're going to be talking about not one, but two Trader Joe's on the same damn street. Well, they're across the street from each other. Who puts two grocery stores right opposing each other? I don't know. Now I got to ask real quick before we get to that story next segment. Does anyone here shop at Trader Joe's?
I used to shop at one of those Trader Joe's when I lived in Sherman Oaks. That was the Trader Joe's I went to. And when I saw them building the mega Trader Joe's across the street, I said to myself, well, of course they're going to shut down the smaller one.
The mega.
Oh, it's a mega. It's a mega Trader Joe's that they're building.
I went to the Trader Joe's at Laurel Canyon and Ventura Boulevard. There used to be a Blockbuster over there. And there was a Trader Joe's there. I don't know if it's even still there. I could never go inside because the traffic and the parking was horrible. Yeah. So that was not a place that I was ever going to shop. So I never really developed any affinity for Trader Joe's.
Yeah, that's one of their cons is parking is just notoriously horrendous.
There are times where you'll see people parking across the street, walking across the street to get to Trader Joe's. Like, I'm not trying to grocery shop anywhere where I might have to walk across the street. Ventura Boulevard? But we're going to talk about Trader Joe's. And also, remember last night we talked about the best and the worst places or cities to have a 4th of July celebration. We're going to tell you tonight about two cities, clearly not on the list, which have canceled their Independence Day celebrations, but specifically in connection to the ICE raids.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. Get into that complexity. So much to discuss. So much for you to, I almost forgot. For my final thought tonight, I definitely have to weigh into the New York City Democratic primary waters. A lot of discussion has been had about the winner of that primary, who is not only Muslim, not only an immigrant, not only a Democratic socialist, but he's also the front runner to become New York City's next mayor. And before you get all your outrage out there, I want to tell you why and how politics works. And it probably has nothing to do with what you like or don't like, because we're in LA, not New York. So I'll tell you about the New York landscape as well when we before the show is over. It's later with Mo Kelly. Join us on YouTube with the Mo Migos. Motown chat is underway. You can join us on Facebook. You can join us on Instagram. All those great things where you can be part of the show. KFI AM 640. It's later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on social media and the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere. An iHeartRadio app. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And I know each social media platform offers a different experience. We're still fiddling with Instagram because if you're watching on your phone, it's only horizontal. It's probably a very small screen. I think Carnisha, can they cast the video on Instagram to their TV? I think they can because I think I've done it for other lives. So you should be able to cast it.
Yeah, the phone should be able to just mirror it to your
There
TV.
you go. Yes. Yeah.
Right?
So I know. Yeah. So it's probably not as easy to look at it on the phone, but I know everyone.
But if you have a smart TV and you have YouTube,
There it is.
then you're all set.
It's very easy to do it that way. Facebook, from what I've seen, it looks good enough size where people can watch it on like a laptop or something like that. You should be fine. But YouTube on your smart TV is the best experience. Just letting y'all know.
Also, you should tag us. Like if you're watching it on a big screen TV, take a picture and tag Mr. Mo Kelly.
Yeah, tag, post, share. If you send us a picture, we'll post it.
We'll post it, yeah.
We'll post it. We will shout you out. It's not that difficult. I look forward to receiving your pictures. And last segment, I was saying I'm a Ralph's guy. I really haven't ever gone to Trader Joe's except for maybe once or twice in my life. No exaggeration. So I don't know what the appeal is. Tuwala, what's the appeal of Trader Joe's?
Finding unique and tasty dishes, ingredients, things that you're not going to find at your Ralph's or even your Gelson's. I mean, they have some really unique things that they create, even some in-house things.
Nope.
Pavilions, no. You're not going to find this level of quality of things at Trader Joe's.
Safeway?
Yes.
Healthily made, all that.
Yes,
even when you have to deal
Whole
with
Foods?
that terrible parking. The people that work there are always amazing. You can find great wines, their chocolate selection. Trader Joe's is a very, very good spot to go to.
Is it pricey like Whole Foods, whole paycheck?
Nah, I mean, it's comparable. Okay. It's comparable. I'm not, it's not that
It is
different,
cheaper though.
Okay. Because I know people
depending
go
on
out of
what
their
you
way
go
to
there
find
for.
Trader Joe's.
But because they have, like Tuwala said, 100%, they have one of a kind stuff you will not find anywhere else.
Also, they have really good cheese popcorn.
They do?
True.
Better than the cheese popcorn and popcorn we have at the office?
Yes. Absolutely.
I haven't had the office popcorn.
In the drawer.
I haven't had any of that, but it's really good. The Trader Joe's cheese popcorn is top notch.
No,
It is good.
It's
a lot of their
that's
stuff
like
is top notch.
You could make a trip there just for that.
Okay. I'm not going to a store to get some popcorn, but all right.
Why do you hate America?
I hate America because... Oh, goodness. You know what's going to happen? Someone's going to say, I heard you, Mo. You said you hate America.
They'll just get that one clip.
Yeah,
There's
serves
one
you
clip.
right.
KFI host hates America.
Right. Yeah. You anti-flag waving liberal Democrat.
There's the promo.
That is the promo. And the funny thing is, none of that would be true.
Doesn't care about cheese popcorn.
That's
doesn't
right.
care about the United States of America.
Doesn't shop at Trader Joe's.
No.
Anyhow.
Let me just say this. I think another reason that people go to Trader Joe's is that of all the grocery stores, it's got the cheekiest attitude. And that includes on their packaging, their signage.
Oh, they don't take themselves
Their
seriously.
uniforms.
Nah, not at all. Oh, yeah, their uniform is what, a Hawaiian shirt?
Yep.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
All right. Yeah. We're talking about this because, just in case you didn't know, here's some backstory. The original Sherman Oaks Trader Joe's opened in 1973, and that's a standalone building on Riverside Drive, which is really not too far from here. It's in Sherman Oaks, as I said, but they've opened up a new Trader Joe's, a larger Trader Joe's, earlier this month, and it's directly across the street from the original Sherman Oaks Trader Joe's. And I'm thinking like, well, wasn't one enough? I mean, outside of just the parking issues, it seems, and I haven't been, so it seems that this new one across the street has underground parking. So there's adequate parking for everyone, just in case you're into that thing. And it's much larger. So I guess there's more of that good stuff, probably more popcorn, probably more things for you to enjoy, those unique items that Tuwala was talking about. And I'm still probably not going to go to Trader Joe's, but it just seemed weird to me. Why don't you just build a superstore and just pay one rent as opposed to having two stores and you pay, you know what I mean? It just seems like you have two sets of overhead.
I hear you, but I haven't been over there. I keep wanting to go over there so I can see with the mega Trader Joe's.
Paint a picture for me.
I'm wondering if the mega Trader Joe's is now just more parking, bigger experience when you go there. And then the smaller one across the street is where they can do more unique tasting opportunities, because sometimes they'll do tastings, they'll do cooking demonstrations. I've been there. They'll cook some stuff and say, here. And you can find all of these ingredients here at Trader Joe's and, taste a little something so they could turn that into a Trader Joe's experience.
And they usually have free coffee. I don't know. You don't drink coffee.
I don't drink coffee.
But
like Mark said, I hate America. I don't drink coffee.
But they kind of like Costco, they offer a free sample of whatever their new item is.
And they're not stingy about it either.
No.
It's their policy to never turn anybody away, no matter how many times they go through that line.
Yep. Okay, like Chick-fil-A, it used to be you could walk by and get one tiny bit of a chicken nugget.
Yeah.
With a toothpick. You could stab it with a toothpick and you get one little tiny
You
one.
mean Costco?
No, I'm talking about Chick-fil-A.
Oh, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A back in the day, like in Jalamo Mall, and I'm really digging deep. You walk by Chick-fil-A and there'll be a young person holding a platter of chicken nuggets with toothpicks stuck in them.
Yep.
And you can come by and get a free one. And I would walk by 5 or 6 times. And I would. And they'd look at me, you're back again? Damn right. Where is my nugget?
I remember one time they had this pesto spread and over these like
Who, Chick-fil-A?
No, Trader Joe's. There's a pesto spread over these kind of sourdough crackers. And I remember this guy had one in his hand and he was munching on it. He said, let me get another one of those. Let me get a couple of those because I'm going to be walking around the store for a minute. And he just puts them on a napkin and was just like walk around. And I mean, I felt like now I can't go and do that because now everyone's looking at him like you pig. But I was kind of jealous of the fact that he took advantage of, like you said, food fair, say no.
And they don't skimp on it. You'll get the full serving.
All right, look, no, it won't. It's not going to get me to go to Trader Joe's.
Come on.
It's not. I'm not going to.
You're just being stubborn.
No, there's not a Trader Joe's on the way to anywhere. It's not one on the way home. There's not one on the way here. There's not one in my. Is there one around us?
The closest one to us, if I'm using your area, would probably be Manhattan Beach.
Yeah, that's not close.
That's not close.
That's not close. It is not in my path driving. So, I mean, I'd have to make a special trip to go get some pesto spread.
Does your wife go?
No, she's Costco all the way.
Costco. Okay.
If she's going to Manhattan Beach, she's going to Costco.
There's got to be a Trader Joe's closer than that.
I'm saying I don't know of one, and you've been to my house, so you know the path I'm driving home. I don't know of one.
Well, let me just add one more thing about Trader Joe's. The apparently brothel adjacent Ralph's that I go to at night on the way home from work. The personnel there, their attitude kind of ranges somewhere between surly and Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver. But all the people at Trader Joe's are always pleasant and they seem fairly happy. A friend of mine who's an ex-movie critic got a full-time job at Trader Joe's because he had to make ends meet because newspapers are going extinct.
No.
He couldn't be happier there. They treat him really well.
They make good money.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
It's good all around, Mo.
No, I'm saying I can understand why people would want to work there. I'm just saying what's in it for me to go out of my way to go there.
Fun food and a fairly pleasant attitude if you got to go to a grocery store.
They treat their employees really well. They pay them really well. That's where my son was going to get his first job. Instead of working for me, he was going to work there because you can start working there, I believe, at like 15 or something like that. But
child labor, yes.
Well, for a summer job.
It sounds like it probably is illegal.
And then Tawala.
Summer job.
Okay, wait.
Tawala receives
statute of limitations has already expired. How old were you when you started working at Taco Bell?
Oh, I was 13.
13.
See?
Yeah, I was
See?
13. But I lied on my application.
Well, clearly you didn't walk in and get a job saying you were actually 13.
I did too, yeah.
Well, I was
What?
13. I remember I was working late hours.
Yeah.
And it was like, I couldn't understand why I was working so late. I remember telling the managers, like, what's wrong with you?
13?
Yeah, why are you acting like you're
What were you?
I think I was like 15.
Were you working in a strip club?
I worked at a I wish. No, I was working at I was doing maintenance for a gym, but you had to be 16 or 17.
16 is the law.
And I was like 14, so yeah, I just lied and they knew, but it's like, hey, we need the labor.
It's
Put the
different.
kids to work.
They
Put
didn't
'em-
have the same type of databases.
That too.
OSHA was not checking.
There was social media didn't exist.
They just had the paper in the
That's
drawer.
it. That's
was
the paper. That was enough.
They look at you and they see the number you wrote down, and that's it.
And they didn't even ask for like driver's license back then.
Nope.
They just, oh, your name is Steve. Yes, it is. Okay.
Come aboard.
Yeah. All right. I will consider Trader Joe's if someone can find one that's near me in my neighborhood.
We'll all go together. It'll be like a bro trip. It'll
No,
be
it
fun.
won't.
Yes.
No, I'm not going. I'm
come
not
on.
going to the grocery store with you.
Come on.
I don't know you like
We'll go
that.
get popcorn before the movie.
That's assuming that Mark actually shows up
True.
because he left us hanging. He left us at the altar last time.
When? What are you talking about?
You kidding, right?
Mark, you do not remember not showing up for our last movie outing?
No, it's time to do the news.
Oh.
Stephen, you want to remind him before we do
You
the news?
kindly just forgot.
I had something important going on. I
You
forget.
had something to do with your mouth, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I had a dental emergency. Yes, and it's really generous of you
How
to,
is
to
it? I
mock that.
remember it. No, I'm trying to jog your memory.
No, I appreciate you bringing that up and holding it against me while I was in pain at the time. That's great of you. Thank you.
Pain, he says.
You're welcome.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640 is Later with Mo Kelly. Let's talk about the 4th of July real quickly. And I also want to remind you that Chateau Le Maux will be hosting this year's, I'll say it's the 5th annual Chateau Le Maux live broadcast, where we have a broadcast from my house, basically. And some of the Momigos were asking if they're invited. You're welcome
Yes
to
and no.
watch online. Love you, but this is at the house, not some public theater. But we have a live broadcast. You get to see a dessert competition that we have every single year. It's great fun. People bake desserts, and then they have to come and present them, almost like sell them, and then they're tasted and they're judged accordingly, and they get real prizes.
And are you
trophies.
you're doing a live stream too, right?
Oh yeah. It's up to Daniel as far as how sophisticated it's
That's
going
what
to be.
I was wondering.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
So,
either way, there's going to be a live broadcast.
yes, there's going to be a live broadcast at the minimum, and there will be a video component to it.
Sweet.
Yeah. So that's coming up on July 4th, obviously. Something that is not coming up on July 4th. 2 cities, actually 3, have canceled their Independence Day events. 2 of them specifically regarding the raids, the ICE raids. 1, no reason was given. Cudahy, where 97% of the population is Hispanic or Latino, they announced yesterday on social media that it was postponing its Independence Day celebration. And they were going to have it on July 3rd. And it was supposed to take place from 3 to 9 p.m. at Cudahy Park. It was going to feature live music, food trucks, and a fireworks show. Sounds like a lot of fun, but no. Quote, the city of Cudahy has decided to postpone the Independence Day celebration due to recent events and concerns regarding the safety of our residents. We appreciate your cooperation. And that's an official statement from the city. And you probably heard about the parallel controversy concerning the vice mayor, Cynthia Gonzalez, who in a social media video called out gang members, basically asking them to get involved as far as protecting the city. I'll read you exactly what she said. She said, quote, "You guys tag everything up claiming hood. And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, there ain't a peep out of you." And she called out 2 gangs, 18th Street and Florence. She's received a lot of hell for that. And that's going to play itself out. I know that some people were protesting her saying that, given that she has a prominent position with the city. And Bell Gardens, which is right next door to Cudahy, also announced that it was canceling a concert and 2 outdoor movie nights, quote, out of an abundance of caution regarding concerns for resident safety over federal immigration enforcement activities, close quote. And the third city is nearby Huntington Park. And if you don't know, that's predominantly Latino, and announced earlier this week on Tuesday that it was postponing its July 3rd Independence Day celebration, but didn't give a reason. I understand why cities are doing this. And after a certain point, you rightfully have to assume that there's going to be an ICE presence over the holiday weekend. And if it turns into something you can't control, which most likely it will, you just don't want to put your residents in, I will say, just in the line of that. You don't want to put them in a situation where you have families, kids, fireworks, and then all of a sudden you have a situation when they're chasing people down and trying to arrest them. I get that. I don't know if there's a better time, but I understand when you have cities erring on the side of caution. And you may not agree with that, but if I were the city manager or the mayor, yeah, I would recommend the exact same thing. Because why would you put hundreds of people in a position where it could be complete bedlam? No, you just wouldn't. And so ICE is still going to do what it's going to do. But if I'm the mayor of Bell Gardens or Huntington Park or Cudahy, no, not doing it. If only because the last thing I would want is someone get hurt, someone get shot, some sort of violence break out in opposition to ICE or because of ICE. I understand why cities would err on the side of caution. Now, other cities don't have to make that calculation, but these do.
Beyond erring on the side of caution for all the many reasons you laid out, it's also an awareness of who your supporters are in those communities and how those communities are being impacted by the raids. It almost seems counterintuitive and almost wrong to be celebrating something like this when these raids are happening, celebrating independence and celebrating this country's freedom when you have people who are on the surface being snatched and taken away.
Oh, yeah, there's some irony to it. And the visuals, we can talk about illegal immigration as a matter of law, but we should also talk about it as a matter of people. And I don't want people to be put in harm's way. Mm-hmm. And we know that they're going any place and every place. They're going to car washes. They're going to churches. They're going to schools. No. Mm-mm. And also you have to think about there are people who are going to have to actually manage these events who may be at risk as well. Mm-hmm. It's not like they just have the event and people from the community show up. No, people from the community actually manage the events and handle the events and handle the fireworks and handle the food and everything. I'm quite sure they're saying like, sorry, can't do it. Can't do it. Can't risk that for my family. Can't risk being separated from my family. And so I'm going to very respectfully bow out maybe next year.
Yeah.
I get it. And in fact, I would expect to see more cities doing the same thing, depending on the demographics of their communities. But I expect more between now and then to make the same decision because there's zero upside. Absolutely zero. When we come back, we're going to talk about Amtrak and their new Pacific Surfliner Disney-themed rail car. And I got to tell you, if you have a chance to ride on Amtrak, take advantage of it. KFI AM 640 is later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Get the chat going in with the Mo Migos in Motown, and we'll read some of your comments on the air next.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640 is later with Mo Kelly. And we had a very spicy moment in the Motown chat talking about whether cities should cancel their Independence Day celebrations given concerns about ICE raids and given their relative demographics. Talked about Cudahy, talked about Bell Gardens, talked about Huntington Park. And I would say 61% of the people in the Motown chat on YouTube said, no, they should not be canceled. The celebrations, they should go on. I understand that sentiment. But of the people who believe that, let's say you are not in the Motown chat, but you're one of the people who agree with that sentiment. I would ask you, do you understand anything about liability? If someone gets hurt at one of these events, they sue the city. It's just that simple. Who do you think is running these events? The Independence Day celebrations. Cudahy is 97%. I think I said it's like 97% Latino. Who do you think is actually running the food trucks, the games, the fireworks? You're going to say that they have to show up? They have to put themselves and their family, extended family, in possible danger? Because not everyone impacted by this is actually an illegal alien. We're talking about family members too. These cities made a calculation, a risk assessment. And I find that the people who are loudest about this on social media, in the Motown chat, do not live in Cudahy, do not live in Bell Gardens, do not live in Huntington Park. So it impacts you absolutely not at all. Not at all. Kind of like who won the Democratic primary for mayor in New York City. People got a lot of things to say about stuff which does not impact them at all. But if it directly impacted you, that'll be kind of different. If you were getting ready to drive your ass over to Bell Gardens next Wednesday because you wanted to check out the fireworks at Bell Gardens or Huntington Park or Cudahy, then I would listen to that argument just somewhat differently. But as they say, if there's no skin off your back, no pun intended. I don't know exactly why you would be upset. We have some people who are upset, using profanity, dropping F-bombs. We booted them out. But I think it highlights this disconnect where we get so emotionally involved in issues which do not touch us at all, does not touch our family members, does not touch us in an employment sense. We have so much to say about it. Just imagine if someone told you, hey, you need to do this in your city. Well, does it involve you? No, but you need to do that. How do you think you would respond? If I told you this is what you need to do in your house, how would you respond? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And the elected officials for the city of Bell Gardens, Cudahy, and also Huntington Park, they've made decisions relative to liability and safety. And if it goes left, what are you going to say then? Oh, well, too bad, so sad. At least they had a Independence Day fireworks show. No, you're not even going. And you don't care about anyone who's there. You don't care about anyone who may get caught up in an ICE raid. You may not even care about the people who may be hurt in the administration of an ICE raid. And you're not going to be there for the cleanup, the literal cleanup or the emotional cleanup. I want people to remember that when we get so incensed and mad about ish that does not impact you at all. And the city's first and most important responsibility is to its residents, keeping them safe. Remember when people were so mad at, still mad as a matter of fact, at Mayor Karen Bass about what happened during the fires? What I heard again and again is a mayor's chief responsibility is to what? Keep residents safe. That's it. Not have a party, not have a fireworks show, not make sure that they're selling hot dogs and hamburgers with food trucks and people waving around little American flags. No, that's not their primary responsibility. If something presents itself that it could be a danger to the public or a dangerous situation, first and foremost, protect the residents. And if you can't understand that, I'm sorry, I can't help you. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.